A pleasant evening and a warm welcome to the national news live on Channel I. I'm Dilanjali Ananda.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Charita Minipurarachi, and let's move on to the headlines for tonight's news.
Prime Minister provides solution for the teacher principal trade union actions. Steps to amend the existing minimum age limit for retirement of private sector employees. Distribution of organic fertilizer required for paddy cultivation in Maha season will begin tomorrow from Ampara. A higher price rate for local bee onion in the market.
On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with local stories. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the government has agreed to increase the teacher salary anomalies under 2 stages, resolving the issue pertaining to salary anomalies. The Prime Minister made these remarks during a meeting held at Temple Trees this evening with the representatives of teacher principal trade unions. Teacher principal trade unions are engaged in a 93-day-long trade union action requesting to resolve salary anomalies. Mediating to resolve this issue, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa convened the representatives of the teacher principal trade unions to Temple Trees and represented the proposed solution for the issue. Accordingly, the Prime Minister suggested to provide the proposed 3-stage salary increment as recommended by the Cabinet Subcommittee appointed to resolve the salary anomalies of teachers and principals in 2 phases, with the first stage to be provided under the budget for financial year 2022 and the other 2 stages through the locations of budget 2023. The Prime Minister said that the government is sensitive on the issue pertaining to teacher and principals and accept the salary anomalies should be resolved. The Prime Minister mentioned that these demands cannot be fulfilled at once and the inflow of funds into the treasury has been limited due to COVID-19 outbreak. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa informed the trade union representatives that the government has proposed 3 solutions realizing the need to contribute to the children's education without any hindrances. The Prime Minister also said that the recommendations presented by the Cabinet Subcommittee led by Minister Dalasalaha Peruma will be implemented in the future. Accordingly, the recommendations including the relevant provisions to declare teacher, teacher instructor and principal services as a closed service will be implemented within a period of 6 months. Chief Sanganayaka in Western Province Venerable Muruttettuwe Anandathera was present at this meeting. Ministers Dinesh Gunawardena, Gamini Lokuge, Dalasalaha Peruma, Mahinda Amaravira and Udega Manpila and State Ministers Susil Premchanta and Pial Nishanta were present at this occasion. Secretary to the Prime Minister Gamini Senaroth, Secretary to the Minister of Education Professor Kapila Pereira, Additional Secretary to the Prime Minister Chaminda Kularatna, Deputy Treasury to the Secretary RPM Ratnayaka and Director General of National Budget Department Jude Nilukshan were present at this meeting. Education Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that the agreement was to provide the proposed salary increments in 2 phases and the first stage to be provided under the appropriation bill already presented in the Parliament and the other 2 stages through the appropriation bill expected to be presented in next January. Remarks were shared in this regard at the media briefing held to announce the cabinet decisions today. Minister Dalasalaha Peruma said that everyone should realize the issues pertaining to teachers. He added that the government has faced with a greater economic crisis at present. He said that in resolving such issues, all stakeholders should reach a middle ground. Therefore, he said that many measures have been taken to reach the middle ground to resolve this issue. He said that the nations hope to reopen schools which have been shut down to 1.5 years. Minister Bandula Gunawardena says the Cabinet of Ministers has granted approval for the legal draft to amend the Mahapula Higher Educational Scholarship Trustee Fund. He made these remarks while taking part in the media briefing held today to announce cabinet decisions. Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that chairmanship of the Mahapula Scholarship was vested with the Chief Justice of the country in order to maintain the scholarship program without any disruption under each government. However, he said that the previous government caused great damage to the scholarship program. He said that the 25-acre land plot where the Sri Lanka Institute of Information Technology in Malabe has been removed through 2 non-legal agreements by the previous government. Accordingly, he added that the Chief Justice rejected to assume the chairmanship of the Mahapula Trustee Fund due to the corruption occurred in relation to the incident during the previous government. He said that several amendments have been presented during the cabinet meeting on the Mahapula Scholarship Fund. The minister said that the fund will be renamed as Lalit Athulat Mudali Mahapula Higher Educational Scholarship Trustee Fund. The second amendment is that the chairmanship of the fund will be assumed by a retired Supreme Court judge nominated by the President, he added. The minister said also that the trustee fund staff will be allocated under the Public Property Act. The minister said that the relevant draft will be presented to Parliament as per the approval granted by the Cabinet yesterday.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa informed the Cabinet of Ministers yesterday that the budget debate will be continued till November 22nd following the presentation of the budget proposals for the year 2022 on November 12th. The committee-staged debate will be opened on November 23rd and will continue till December 10th. The third reading and the voting of the appropriation bill will be held on December 10th as per the Prime Minister. The Cabinet approval was granted to prepare a bill to amend the existing minimum age limit for retirement of private sector employees. The bill has been prepared by including provisions to extend the retirement age to 60 years with respect to employees who are yet to attain the age of 52 years on the effective date of the proposed Act, and those who are above the age group of 52 said to be employed under 3 age groups to a maximum age of 59 years. The Cabinet of Ministers has directed the attention in formulating a draft bill to impose cyber protection laws ensuring national security. The aim of the initiative is to improve the efficiency of the operations conducted through cyber protection systems established on various levels through triforces, the police and other agencies. The Cabinet of Ministers has decided on the suitability of a separate act in this regard. Accordingly, Cabinet of Ministers has granted approval for the formulation of 2 draft bills considering the proposal presented by the President.
Moving to the local update of the COVID-19 pandemic situation, health authorities point out that a resurgence of COVID-19 outbreak may occur in the country if people tend to behave in an irresponsible manner following the reopening of the country. Deputy Director General of Health Services Dr. Hemantha Herath said that the people should adhere to health guidelines in order to avert another COVID-19 outbreak. Also, he added that it is important for university students to be vaccinated prior to the resumption of state universities.
We have observed that, or the university authorities have already informed that the rate of presenting for the vaccination by the university students has not up to the expectation, and we feel that the same problem that we observed when we were giving the vaccinations between the 20 and 30 age group would have been applicable to the current situation. However, we need to emphasize the fact that vaccination not only protect you but also protect the community by reducing the risk of transmission of the disease. Although the vaccine will not prevent the infection, at the person from getting infected will not be 100% protected. However, if everyone gets immunized, even if they get infected, the viral load that they will be shedding outside will be reduced to a great extent, and therefore the likelihood of spreading the disease will be minimal. And therefore, we need to urge and emphasize that all university students, before starting the universities, they need to get their vaccination done so that they will be protected, and their community, their friends and all other colleagues also will be protected, and their family members also will be protected. Also, we have observed that level of adhering to the health guideline after relaxing the health guideline is in certain places is not up to the expectations, and we know that majority of our people, our citizens, are adhering to the health guidelines to the letter, but even a small proportion, if they are not adhering to the health guideline, this will increase the risk of infection or spreading the disease to a great extent if even a slight proportion of people are not adhering to the health guidelines. So therefore, we urge and we request all citizens of this country adhere to the health guideline to the letter so that we can minimize the current risk of disease and the risk of getting further new clusters or increasing number of cases in the coming days.
A total of 520 COVID-19 infected persons were detected in the country today. Number of active cases in the country is at 23,407. Epidemiology unit has indicated that a total of 10,301 recoveries were reported from October 4th to the 11th. Accordingly, the total recoveries in the country has increased up to 490,800. Director General of Health Services confirmed 23 COVID-19 related deaths which occurred yesterday. Meanwhile, health authorities have said that the number of children directed to child and youth mental health clinics has increased by 20% in 2020 and 2021 years compared to 2018 and 2019. A total of 27,197,582 COVID-19 vaccine doses have been inoculated in the country under the COVID immunization program. A total of 14,716,712 have received the first dose of the vaccine. 12,480,870 have been inoculated with both doses at present. The vaccination of university students and academic and non-academic staff of the university is currently underway in the country.
Minister of Education Kehalia Rupavahini says that schools are a significant platform for children in order to become responsible and socio-economically productive citizens. He made these remarks at a media briefing held today.
Recognizing schools to be important settings for delivering education and executing health and well-being related interventions for children and adolescents to support their journey into becoming responsible and socio-economically productive citizens in tandem with the efforts of their respective countries towards achieving the sustainable development goals for all their citizens across all ages. Acknowledging that the COVID-19 pandemic and the consequent prolonged closure of schools has significantly impacted education and affected the holistic development of physical and mental health, psychological behaviors, and the overall well-being of children and adolescents, and reminding ourselves of the need for robust intersectorial collaboration between the health, education, and relevant sectors to sustain health-promoting environments and actions in schools and for school-age children, and to ensure the safe reopening and operation of schools in line with COVID-19 mandated precautions and beyond the pandemic. Recalling the WHO Health Promoting Schools initiative launched in 1995 to strengthen the capacity of all schools in the region to promote healthy living, learning and working, and the series of follow-up meetings that have been held across member states since then to address a range of health risk factors affecting children and adolescents, and keeping in mind the varying levels of implementations of initiative that have been achieved across member countries. Appreciating the availability in 2021 of the global standards and guidance of implementation of health promoting schools for making every school a health promoting school that have been developed by WHO in collaboration with the UNESCO, UNICEF and international institution partners. Foster partnership between the health and the education sectors, public and private school systems, educational associations, international agencies and youth network to take immediate action to address physical and mental health needs, social well-being and safety of students during the reopening of schools, and to sustain these measures beyond the pandemic by making every school a health promoting school capable of addressing, ameliorating and being prepared for and resilient over any threats from ongoing and future emergencies and challenges, and urge member states and the WHO to ensure adherence to the targets, goals and benchmarks which invigorated commitment and unflagging initiative for the continued well-being and physical, mental and psychological development of school children across the region to enable them to grow into adulthood as productive and healthy citizens of the world community, assured of the enjoyment of the highest attainable standards of health as a fundamental right.
Minister Mahindananda Alutgamage says that the program to distribute organic fertilizer required for paddy cultivation for this year's Maha season will commence tomorrow. The relevant decisions has been reached during a meeting held yesterday. The program to distribute fertilizer will commence in Ampara district and will be initiated in other districts simultaneously. A decision has been reached to give priority for Ampara, Anuradhapura, Polonnaruwa, Monaragala, Trincomalee, Batiklo, Hambantota and Puttalam district. State Minister Shashindra Rajapaksa and representatives of the agrarian services were also present at this occasion. A discussion was held between Minister Basil Rajapaksa and officials of both Ministry of Agriculture and the State Ministry at the Ministry of Finance yesterday. The meeting was organized on the food security in the country. The Finance Minister said that priority has been given to strengthen the rural economy through the Budget 2022. The attention has been directed to further strengthen the production economy. Even though the certain entities claim that the country would face a food shortage, the Minister said that no room will be allowed for such situation to occur in the country. He instructed the officials to increase local productions and prepare a mechanism to sell these products at bearable price rates for the consumers. Minister Mahindananda Alutgamage said that steps have been taken to produce chilies, potatoes and onions in the country to match the domestic requirement. He also said that local production of dried chilies has been able to fulfill the domestic requirement at present. State Ministers Shashindra Rajapaksa and D.B. Herath were present at this occasion. Ministers S.M. Chandrasena said that steps will be taken in future to distribute seeds for maize cultivation which are suitable for organic fertilizers. He made these remarks at a media briefing held in Colombo today.
Economic Centre Traders Association says that a higher price rate has received for 1 kilogram of local bee onion at the Dambulla Economic Centre. The trade unions said that so far 150 rupees has been given for a kilogram and it is expected to be increased up to 200 rupees in the next couple of weeks. The onion harvests in Anuradhapura, Polonnaruwa and Matale districts are making their way to the Dambulla Economic Centre at present. The traders have indicated that the local bee onion price was increased following the decision taken by the government to impose a tax of 40 rupees for 1 kilogram of imported bee onion. The purchase price of 1 kilogram of local bee onion is between 130 to 150 rupees at present.
And meanwhile, two new zones named Mahaweli M and Mahaweli N were declared by the government recently. The development activities of the Mahaweli N zone have been accelerated at present. The main objective of this project is to uplift the agricultural sector in northwestern province. The Mahaweli M zone was declared following the construction of the Maha project in northwestern province. The construction of 3 new reservoirs are underway to distribute water supplied from the Vemadilla reservoir through tunnels and an open canal to the people in northwestern province. 3 reservoirs have been named as Mahakidula, Mahadambe and Mahakirula. Mahakidula reservoir, which has a capacity of 12,000 acre-feet with the main dam and 1.5 kilometers, is considered the largest among the 3 reservoirs. The water supply to Mahadambe and Mahakirura reservoirs will be distributed to Ahatuwava, Mediava, Yahapawa and Potaville areas through the 3 canals. Accordingly, the supplied water will allow the farmers to engage in their agricultural activities in both Yala and Maha seasons. The fulfilling of the drinking water will need in the areas in another objective of this initiative. Minister Namal Rajapaksa engaged in a tour to observe several development projects currently underway in northwestern province. He first visited the site of Mahakitula Reservoir to look into the progress of the construction activities. Minister Johnston Fernando, State Minister Anuradha Jayaratne, Parliamentarian Gunapala Malasekara were present at this occasion.
Mahaweli Cultivation's Promotion Week commenced today parallel to Saubhagya Agricultural Development Program. The program was initiated with the participation of Minister Chama Rajapaksa. The event was held at Colombo Mahaweli Centre. The Mahaweli Cultivation's Promotion Week will continue till October 16th. Many initiatives including establishment of 400,000 home gardens in Mahaweli zones, production of additional crop seeds and vesting Mahaweli seeds with the people, promotion of organic paddy cultivation and organic fertilizer and promotion of gardens and commercial crops will be conducted during this week. Another objective of this program is to improve revenue earning avenues of youth in Mahaweli zones. An agreement was signed at the ceremony to promote and develop jute cultivation. Establishment of Vari Saubhagya Centre was also conducted with the participation of the minister today. Minister Chamal Rajapaksa said that the President has clearly mentioned on green agriculture in his policy statement. He added that the President has further mentioned regarding the necessary program for toxic-free food production. Therefore, the Minister said that the President reached a decision on the use of organic fertilizer for agricultural purposes. He said that the government had to face many issues pertaining to this decision. He said that many awareness initiatives have to be conducted in order to gain the trust of the farmers for this initiative. Also, the minister pointed out that certain relief will be given for the farmers in case their revenue declines compared to earlier earnings. He said that the farmers will not hesitate to engage in agricultural activities if such assurances is provided.
And with that, we conclude tonight's news doses tomorrow at the very same time. Stay safe. Good night.
Good night.